Well, this fight was announced on Friday, Tyron Woodley versus Anderson Silva. It kind of came out of nowhere. We thought it was going to be Anderson Silva against the one and only Chris Weidman, the trilogy. First time in a boxing match. We had them both on just a couple of weeks ago. Unfortunately, Weidman hurt. And so in enters Tyron Woodley, who is kind enough to join us to talk about this fight that is happening in less than a month. There he is. T. Wood.
What's up, man? How you doing, Ariel?
How are you doing?
Man, I'm doing good. I can't complain. I'm in London freezing my balls off. But, all in all, I'm doing well.
What are you doing there?
I'm filming a movie, Roadhouse 2.
Okay. And when does that end filming?
I'm gonna end a little bit earlier just because of the fight announcement. But in general, like the good thing about this fight when it came about, I had started training anyway, and I was training because I had a little extra stomach on me that I wasn't used to having. So I was trying to get fit for the movie, and then it's Chandler here, Michael Venom Page, Wonder Boy. So these are people that I've either fought or never going to fight. So as a martial artist, I was just excited to get a chance and opportunity to train with these guys. They've been working old Wonder Boy to his bones in the ground. So I haven't had a chance to work out with him yet. But me and MVP got a lot of good work in.
By the way, without giving away too much, how does the Connor character play into the sequel?
I can't really say.
Okay.
I would love to tell you, but I can't say. But I can say Michael Chandler is in the movie. Dustin Poirier is in the movie.
Okay. Oh, okay. Interesting. So we just had Nikisa on about 45 minutes ago, and he did tweet a picture of you guys meeting in London. He was there to announce the fight. So tell us how this came across your radar, because you're there. You're probably not thinking about fighting in the midst of all of this, and now here's this big opportunity. So how does it get presented to you, and what do you think?
Very similar to the second Jake Paul fight. I was in Atlanta, Georgia, filming Cobra Kai at that time, and Nikisa lived in Atlanta as well. And he hit me up and said, "Hey, how you doing?" I said, "I already know what's going on." I said, "Tommy ain't gonna come to the fight, is he?" He said, "You free for lunch tomorrow?" I said, "Cool, yeah." And basically, he presented the opportunity. And like in that situation, I was kind of training. Like my coach GT, who's sitting right over there now. I had brought GT to St. Louis, and I told him I didn't feel like that fight was going to happen. So we started over from scratch because it's a lot of things that I needed to learn, basics that I didn't have. So we started from scratch and working on those deals. And then if a fight presented itself, we'd be in position to take that fight. So this is the identical, exact same thing. I'm on the film, and he's in the same city. And he texted me 2 days. He texted me on Monday. He said, "Man, I see this Instagram. You saying the comeback season. You training. What are you training for?" I said, "I'm training for the unsigned fight." He said, "Oh, cool." 2 days later, he texted me and said, "Are you in London?" I said, "What's going on, Nikisa?" He said, "Meet me at this lounge." I said, "I bet." So he talked to me about the fight, told me who he offered the fight to, and just said, "This is an opportunity for you to take a fight. It's going to be on this date, da da da." And I'm like, "This is a fight it's like the fight you needed to have that you didn't know you needed to have." I never even thought about fighting Anderson in my life. We grew up watching him as a GOAT, you know what I mean? And he was a weight class above me, but I wasn't even in the UFC during the time when he was the champion. So it never even crossed my radar. So when he presented that fight, it was more of a legacy fight for me, like to put that skeleton in my closet that I beat Anderson Silva. It's something personal for me. So that's why I was excited. I'm thankful that I was already kind of training so that I would be able to take a fight, which would be short notice to everybody else. I was kind of already gearing up for something that wasn't signed.
It's a wild thing just looking at you two there. Like, one of
I
those
know,
fights,
man. I like it, but it is crazy, right?
It is crazy, especially on such short notice. Your last fight, by the time this fight happens, will be almost exactly 4 years to the date. December 18th, 2021. Yeah. This is December 19th. And so were you at peace with never fighting again? Or was this inevitable? Were you going to fight again?
I felt like I was going to box again. Like I took 1 year off completely because when I fought Jake, you know me, I had just came out of the UFC. I had fought Luke earlier that year. I fought Jake twice at the end of the year. And from the age of 10 all the way to 40, I never had a break. I was an athlete straight through for 30 years with no break, no off season, never had one. I was an athlete all the way through. So I took a break for a year for myself, right? Then that following year, I had a setup to fight KSI, a setup to fight Floyd Mayweather, a setup to fight Manny Pacquiao. Those three fights didn't happen. Then I signed to the GFL. That's still in the works, and that's still something that's delayed at the moment. So I was ready to fight, but I'm like, God, is this you telling me that it's time to walk away from it? And I never really felt like I got clarity or heard if that was the situation. Then I was telling myself that, hey, you know what? Maybe I should just put down mixed martial arts and give that part of my life a proper ending. But I still want to box. I love boxing. I want to do that first. And you know what I mean? It's easier to train the boxing component because it's only one martial art and it's easier on your body. Like everything goes into complementing each other. Jiu-jitsu and strength and conditioning sometimes don't agree with the sprinting and the wrestling and the sparring. Sometimes they're counterintuitive where you actually are so sore from this that it affects you to be able to do well in the next martial arts. Boxing, everything is kind of is combined to all go together. So I've been thinking about that all year, and I didn't expect to fight until next year. But I'm like, let me take a boxing fight, one that's big, one that makes me excited. And when this opportunity came, this fight is big. It makes me excited. It's a legacy fight. You know what I mean? And I'm already training. This is a legend, dude. Let's get it cracking.
I saw Darren Till say that the two of you turned down fights against him. What's he talking about?
Darren Till, a damn lie. I already beat you like a drum. Why would I turn down a fight against you? You didn't land one punch on me.
Okay, so
You didn't even swing a gust of air by my face. He's just trying to involve himself in the moment. Cloud is a very powerful drug, and we all are using it. We all are selling it. And some people get high if they own supply. He's clearly consuming the cloud. You know what I mean? I just gave him some credit the other day. I say he's looking really good in boxing. Even if the opponents aren't like, you know what I mean, top tier boxing, but I thought he looked real slick and real crispy in his last couple of boxing fights. So I still gonna give him props, but I accepted the fight against Darren Till. I accepted that fight before it was even offered to Luke Rockhold a longer time ago. And you know, I always keep receipts if anybody want to try to act like it's a lie, but I accepted the fight against him the first time it was offered. For whatever reason, that thing didn't come forth. But I accepted the fight, and that's for him. I already did what I needed to do against him. I had my best performance of my life against him. I don't have to go back in and do nothing to prove anything in that fight. So that was more of a giving him a chance to maybe try to get his get back. But no, yeah, I accepted that fight.
So
And I can't see Anderson saying no to any fight. Because Anderson said yes to me quickly.
How are you balancing?
I said yes quick. He said yes quick. This all happened in 48 hours.
Crazy. How are you balancing filming and training at the same time?
But a good thing about it is, my coach GT, the last time I fought, we was training at weird hours anyway, because when I was on Cobra Kai, sometimes we was training 3 or 4 in the morning. And just, from his time when he was training Floyd Mayweather, Floyd liked to train at weird hours. So it's just getting your body used to it. The time that I'm going to need to train here, if you do the math on me fighting, I think I think it's Anthony and Jake, the main event, and then Alicia and her opponent, the co-main event. And then I think me and Anderson will fight before then. If you do the math on that fight, we're going to be fighting at 11 p.m., which means if you are fighting on that time zone that I'm in, which is 5 hours back, I need to be training at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning anyway. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to get my work in. I got a great situation. Shout out to London Shoe Fighters. Also, shout out to Michael Venom Page for opening up his gym, all his coaches. So they're going to allow me to access the gym at really weird, strange hours, like 4 or 5 in the morning. And your graphic guy is crazy because he with the shit.
Yeah, right? Man.
On the graphics real quick. And this was not premeditated.
Nah.
I did not know I was going to say that. Yeah,
Yo,
you got a solid team.
by the way, I love the Strike Force gloves. You just happen to have those on you, or they had
Man,
them
yeah.
there?
Man, I bring it with me to motivate me because that was an era that built me. To be honest, not the UFC. The UFC was the byproduct of all the hard work I put in through Strikeforce. So I put those on purpose. When I did my sparring session yesterday with MVP, which he's a MVP, I said I would never want to fight you, brother. But I'm thankful I have him to help me get ready for this fight. I wore my Roufus sports shirt yesterday, and I felt Duke's spirit come through me. And I was training, and it was just something I was pushing. It was a kid named Felix from the gym. He just won Saturday, but he had a fight, so I was helping him out with the stopping the guys from escaping from the takedowns when he take them down, they try to get away, and was doing this MMA circuit. So this is a circuit for somebody that's in a training camp to fight. So I was in the circuit with them, and I wasn't in the training camp to fight yet. So I said, you know what? Let me just see where I'm at. So I pushed myself like I had a fight coming up. And when I got done, I just felt like this is how I felt. These are the numbers I was putting up on these cardio equipment when I was in World Championship training camp. And then I had on the Roufus shirt, and I just felt like a lot of emotion come over me. And I know that as a man, it's okay. It's okay to feel, those emotions. But I felt my coach's spirit, and I felt like, Tyron, you still got some fight left in you. So when Nikisha hit me up 24 hours later after I did that, I couldn't say no. It was nothing. It was nothing in my body that got nervous. It was nothing in my body that said overthink this. It was like, let's get the money figured out, right? And let's get the everything that the logistics figured out. It was not yes or no to the fight. I say you can tell everybody else that either turn down the fight or ask for more time or ask for more money. You can tell them they can go and find another fight. This is my fight.
And I'm very sorry about the tragic passing of Duke. We spoke to Anthony about it, and I know how close you were to him, and you've written some beautiful things about him. How, it's only been like a month or so since this happened.
Yeah.
How are you dealing with that?
It hit me hard because I'm very thankful for one. A lot of guys, Duke's a fighter, so with fighting comes emotions, and I mean, he's a fighter that trauma bonded. He trauma bonded with Anthony because Anthony had lost his father, and Duke had lost his close loved one as well. So they bonded off trauma. And when you got somebody that was a world champion fighter and is coaching other world champion athletes, it's testosterone in there, you know what I mean? So people butt heads at times. I don't have one negative experience with Duke. I've never been in an argument with Duke. I never had a bad rapport with Duke. I never had a bad conversation with Duke. Not one time. So very few people in my life I have 100% positive experiences with this person. And I was in Milwaukee for my son's soccer game, and I said, let me stop by the gym, but I ran out of time. So I extended my trip. I stayed the extra day. I met with Duke. We sat in the lobby and talked for 5 hours. The next day, he said, come to the gym. I got some young fighters that, I want you to see. It'd be good if you come to the gym. So I extended the gym. So my stay even longer. And I went to the gym and I trained with these young MMA fighters. You know what I mean? I was tired as hell. I ain't gonna lie to you, but I held my own. I'm not letting nobody get over on me. But it was just so dope to see how much the sport has evolved and how he's just so far ahead of the curve. So that's my last experience with Duke. I was texting him about some business stuff. I said, hey, dude, hit me up when you get a chance. I got this business stuff that I want to run by you, right? An hour later, Anthony called me and said Duke passed away in his sleep. And I'm like, I just texted him. I just called. I was just like trying to get him on the line, and it hit me like a bag of rocks. I'm like, I ain't cried that hard in so long. And you don't realize what somebody means to you especially when he wasn't sick, he was young, you know what I mean? And it was just like, out of all people, that's the last person I would have ever thought that went to glory. But it's our job to keep his legacy alive. It's our job to make sure his daughter's okay and she's set up, right? It's our job to make sure that the Roufus Sport brand in general continue to have, the legacy of greatness that he instilled into us. We built something special in that basement. I wasn't even a Roufus Sport fighter. I was an American Top Team fighter, still am. And he opened up his door to me. And in that basement, man, I remember it was Paul Felder, me, Anthony Pettis, Sergio, Ben Askren. We was tired. We was beat up, negative 14 degrees. And we found something and we dug in our spirit and we made ourselves do things that we knew we was too tired to do. And that moment of time was why I became a champion at.
Wow. Beautifully said, truly. A few things that I wanted to ask you about, because it's been a while since we've last talked. Obviously, a lot has changed in the welterweight division. You were once a welterweight champion. What do you make of Islam and how he's looked at 170, and then all the jockeying of position at the top, including an old foe of yours, Kamaru Usman, who's still in the mix?
I don't follow it as much as I should. I hate to say it. I was really supporting Bilal just because he was a teammate of mine at Roof Sport, and I feel like he's a definition of somebody that overachieved what they were supposed to do on paper, right? For his attributes and his natural abilities. You know what I mean? I feel like he overachieved that, and you always got to go for the underdog. But his work ethic, his discipline, and his belief in himself, he associated himself with people that helped elevate him as a MMA fighter. So I supported him. But these other guys, I really didn't know a lot about, to be honest. I think Makhachev is dominant. And the one thing I know about the Dagestanian culture is their flex is not cars, not women, not jewelry, not clothes, not money. It's discipline. And it's keeping that undefeated record. That's what's most important to them. So they have done that time and time again. And I feel like he's a product of that culture.
GFL was something you were a part of when we last spoke. Mm-hmm. Clearly not anymore. What happened there? What went wrong?
Yeah, I wouldn't say clearly not anymore. You know me. I still talk to Darren. It's just I feel like I feel like the GFL came out the gates blazing, and I feel like it was very it was very smart in my mind to get a roster that was crazy first, and then use that roster to go and to pitch this to investors and pitch this to people to get behind it. I think that was genius. If it was me, if I was a billionaire person and I was sitting back looking to buy a league, I'm going to look at this league as people that's already proven products with already strong brands. And I feel like that's a smarter thing than trying to build something from the ground. Name recognition means something. It's good to have talent, but branding is also about if people know you. And it's entertainment first and then the sport after that. So with that said, I feel like it was just that first event. I feel like it was a few more wrinkles in that first event, and then the people that were associated with it, and the people that were thinking about it on the sidelines or watching to see what happened to get involved with it, right? It's a difficult thing when you're trying to get into a new league, right? And I feel like some people that were thinking about joining in or investing in or buying a team, I feel like that first event not taking place on schedule kind of gave them a little bit of anxiety. So I don't think it's over with from what I've heard. It's not, but at the end of the day, I think everything is in God's timing.
Well, what do you make of this Jake Paul Anthony Joshua fight? Do you think Jake has lost his mind? You know him probably as well as anyone.
I mean, Jake has been lost his mind. Like, what's new? Like, he lost his mind when he fought me. He lost his mind when he fought Anderson, when he fought Nate. He lost his mind when he wanted to fight professionally and switched over from amateur. It's really kind of been a theme. And I feel like the only person that hurt him ever was me. The only person that he lost to was somebody that actually boxed him, that actually took him serious, used the jab, moved around. And I feel like we've seen fights where Anthony didn't do that, and we've seen fights where he did. Depending on which version Anthony Joshua comes out, depends on if Jake has what we would call a chance. When you fighting if you got knockout power, you got belief in yourself, you got some speed, agility to move around, you always have a chance. You know what I mean? We've seen crazier things happen. Francis Ngannou is a terrible comparison to this happened to Francis. He's not even built the same as Jake. I would say Jake's a little bit faster than him. He has more power, but he's slower in distributing that power. And I feel like Anthony probably took him a little bit more serious just because he's actually a bigger heavyweight with power. And I feel like he did everything to make sure Francis didn't even get a chance to use it. So I don't have to make a prediction because I'm fighting, I'm not commentating. But you know, I love when people doubt me, so I'm never gonna doubt somebody if they believe in themselves.
Do you think he has a chance, Jake?
I mean, people think I'm crazy, but they yelled at me when I said I thought the fight with him and Anderson was even. Remember I said that?
Mm-hmm.
And everybody went crazy on me for saying I thought the fight was even. I don't think this fight is even. I do think that Anthony Joshua is a better boxer. I think he has more power, but I don't think there's no chance Jake can win.
Dang. Because, everyone's saying like 1 or 2 rounds.
I mean, I would say 1 or 2 rounds is what he would have to do to convince me that he's gonna knock him out. I feel like if he can find a way to get past 1 or 2 rounds.
And who's the he you're talking about here? Because I was talking about AJ.
I feel like if Anthony don't stop him in the first 2 rounds, I feel like he gonna give Jake confidence, and I think it's gonna be a decision. But I feel like, I mean, I'm gonna be real. Like, he a great boxer. He got good power. He was always like the little point guard that was a heavyweight, and I just don't. I don't know why Jake wanted that fight. I don't know what was going through his head, but he always got something up his sleeve. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not finna say, "Hey, let me fight fucking Anthony Joshua." I ain't the one that signed up for it, and I don't know what's in Jake's mind. But I do know that like I did some things that people just said, "Oh, never do." Oh my God, I can't believe you're doing that. Like even the other day, I was at. You know what I mean? I was at this the director of this movie birthday just passed, and he invited us to his house to like celebrate his birthday. And somebody came up to me, "Oh, I heard you fighting Anderson Silva. It's such short notice." I said, "Don't do that, dude, because you're not fighting. So why you nervous? You don't have to get in there. You don't know what shape I'm in. You don't know my game plan. You don't know my mentality." And I said, what you don't know is as a fighter, that's the last thing you want to do to us. Is if we don't have fear, don't try to come and inject fear into our mental because we are the one that's fighting. You not. I'm not teaching you how to watch. I'm not coming to the post office and telling you how to sort mail. I'm not coming to your restaurant like, oh, what if the person got an allergy to lobster and you put it in the fucking ravioli and they die and they come and sue? I'm not doing that, right? I'm letting you do you. That's your job. This is my job.
Is there a chance this is your final fight?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I am getting closer though. Shit, I ain't going to 50, Anderson. Shit, I ain't doing that. But I don't think this is my last fight. I think definitely I'll box a couple more times next year. I am contemplating on the MMA thing though because the GFL was exciting because we was making a lot of money. So I was like, it wasn't even about the money. It was a principle that people saw us being valuable enough to pay us that amount. So that type of love made it fun. And I felt like there was so many guys with great names and big matchups that we either saw and we want to see again that we didn't see. I was excited about that. I don't know. The MMA thing is the boxing thing I'm definitely going to do more of. The MMA thing is what I'm still praying and asking God about. It got to be something special for me to fight.
What about RAF? Michael Chandler's fighting for them this weekend. Real American Freestyle Wrestling.
Yeah, he texting me right now. He ain't text me about they text me about something else, but they asked me to do that. Izzy Style asked me to do that. I'm like, man, shit. When I stopped wrestling, I stopped wrestling.
Okay.
I use wrestling in MMA, but I ain't really with it. I'll come and check it out. I support it. I support wrestling for sure. That made me who I am. But I mean, once again, if you offer me a, you know what I mean, me versus Johnny Hendricks.
That'd be something. Old school.
Yeah, motherfucker, I owe you from the Big 12 championship. I think I forgot about that. I would do it if it's something like that.
All right, for now, though, December 19th on Netflix. What a turn of events this is. This is crazy. Tyron Woodley, former UFC welterweight champion, against the former UFC middleweight champion, Anderson Silva. Never thought we'd see this. It's at 195. You like that?
I like that, yeah. I'm close to that now. I weigh like 200.
Okay.
I'm just, you know what I mean? A lot of people don't know I was 205 shredded, cutting to 170, so I was killing myself to make that weight. I like when I fought Jake, I didn't have to cut much weight. I felt good. Anderson is a little heavier. I wanted him to come down and cut a little bit because, you know what I mean? You're taller, you got longer reach, you know what I mean? There's some other attributes I'm not going to give him publicly, but it's some things that I need to just make sure, you know what I mean, we balance out the playing field.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing you out there. This is great. Are you going to stay in London the entire time?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's cold here. It ain't no distractions. It is women here, but I'm not. My coach are already looking at me over there. I'm cut off from that. You know what I mean? I got a great situation. I got MVP. Got another training partner named Mumps that's a southpaw, same size, real smooth, real slick. Great pad work. And I feel like what I need for this fight is reminding me of the Roufus Sport days that like -14. I don't know. I know you've seen it before because you've from the East Coast. But until people can go and throw hot water in the air and it turn into dust, they don't understand that. I don't need to be comfortable like I was when I was training for Jake in Miami and you know what I mean, all these little bikinis around and stuff. I need to be in this apartment. You know what I mean? Washer, dryer, TV, train, go film, go to sleep.
We'll see you out there, Tyron. Thank you very much for doing this. Good luck. There. Much appreciated, my man. There he is, the great Tyron.
When I beat Anderson Silva, don't be surprised.
I won't. I'm not doubting you. Tyron Woodley returning December 19th. So some familiar faces, some familiar names for us in the world of MMA. And a nice little addition. Of course, very excited to be a part of it. Looking forward to it as well. Thanks for watching this video. Before you go, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for us. Also, give us a thumbs up. Leave a nice comment. These things go a long way. And while you're here, do check out the rest of the channel. We've got live shows and full interviews, clips, and a whole lot more. We're doing big things here, and we appreciate your support very much.